Assalamu alaikum. Our lesson today is about line graph. So at the end of this video, you should be able to transform a data table into a graph. I want you to prepare notebook and a pencil, your physics booklet and a ruler. Before you start, please read and follow these instructions. Sit in a quiet place, prepare your stuff, follow my instructions, repeat the video more than once, and ask me if you have any question. In the previous video, we learned that to analyze a given data easily, a data table is a good and efficient method. But to interpret more easily certain data shown in a data table, a line graph is created. What is a line graph? How can we transform a data table into a line graph? Step 1. Draw two perpendicular axes, a horizontal x-axis and a vertical y-axis with arrows on the extremity of each. This is the x-axis or the horizontal line, and this is the vertical axis or the y-axis. Step 2. Label the horizontal axis with the name of the independent variable. Label the vertical axis with the name of the dependent variable and write the unit of each variable on each axis. First, which one is the horizontal axis? This is the horizontal axis. Now we should write the independent variable on this axis. But how can we determine the independent variable? To determine the independent variable, we will refer to the table. In the previous video, we explained that always row 1 includes the independent variable and row 2 includes the dependent variable. So what is the independent variable in this case? Altitude. Label the x-axis with altitude, surely with the unit kilometer. What is the dependent variable? The dependent variable is pressure. Write pressure on the y-axis or the vertical line, surely with its unit kilopascal. In the table, write the independent variable, which is altitude in this case, on the x-axis or the horizontal axis, and write the dependent variable, which is pressure in this case, on the y-axis or the vertical axis. To avoid mistakes, you can use the title to determine the independent and the dependent variable. The title of the table is the variation of the dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. What is the dependent variable? What is the independent variable? The dependent variable is pressure. Write pressure with its unit kilopascal between parentheses. What is the independent variable? Altitude. Write altitude with its unit between parentheses kilometer. So, write pressure on the y-axis with its unit. Write altitude on the x-axis with its unit. Step 3. Create a scale on each axis by marking off equally spaced numbers that cover the range of the data collected and mention the chosen scale beside the graph. How can you determine a suitable scale? To determine a suitable scale, observe the values given in the table carefully. This is the table. For the values of altitude 0, 5, 10, 15, and 20, if we choose the multiples of 2 on the x-axis, and for the values of pressure 100, 60, 30, 15, and 10. If we choose the multiples of 10 on the y-axis, the values will be: on the x-axis, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 8, 10, and 12. On the y-axis, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Surely at the intersection we have 0. But in this case, on the x-axis, or for the values of altitude, there is no 15 and 20. And on the y-axis, for the values of pressure, there is no 60 and 100. So, this scale is not accepted. Now, you should think of a number whose multiples show almost the given values on the table. But how? For x-axis or the values of altitude, it is good to choose 5 km for each square. For y-axis, it's good to choose 20 kilopascal for each square. Or we can say x-axis 1 square 5 km, y-axis 1 square 20 kilopascal. The values will be now: on the x-axis, at the intersection we have 0 for the x-axis and the y-axis. Now 5, we start by 5. 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 5, 20. On the y-axis, the multiples of 20, so we start by 20. 20 plus 20, 40, 40 plus 20, 60, 60 plus 20, 80, 80 plus 20, 100. Step 4. Plot the points on the graph. In general, to place the points correctly, draw a dotted vertical straight line from the value of independent variable and a dotted horizontal straight line from the value of dependent variable. The point is the intersection of the two traced straight lines. How? For example, for the first point, 0 km, 100 kilopascal. What does this mean? 0 km, so it is located on the x-axis, here. 100 kilopascal, so it is located on the y-axis. Draw a dotted vertical line. This is the first point. The second point, 5 km, 60 kilopascal. Draw a dotted vertical line, then a dotted horizontal line. The second point is the intersection of the two traced straight lines. The third point, 10 km, 30 kilopascal. Draw a dotted vertical line, but here there is no 30, so we estimate it in the middle, between 20 and 40. This is 30. Now, draw a dotted horizontal line. This is the third point. The same for the fourth point, 15 km, 15 kilopascal. It's very easy. Draw a dotted vertical line. And also there is no 15, so we will estimate it, but in this case it's not in the middle, since 10 is located in the middle, so it is above the middle. Now draw a dotted horizontal line. This is point 4. Finally, the last point, 20 km, 10 kilopascal. Draw a dotted vertical line and a dotted horizontal line. We said before that's 10 in the middle. So this is point 5. Step 5. Connect the points by a line. This is the reason behind the name of line graph, so don't forget the joining of points at the end. Step 6. Give a title to the graph as in the case of a data table. What is the general form of title? The variation of y with respect to x. What does the letter y mean? The dependent variable. Now, what is the dependent variable in this graph? Pressure. What does the letter x mean? The independent variable. What is the independent variable in this graph? altitude. Surely with the units. Now, replace y by pressure and replace x by altitude. Then read the title with me. What's your title? Yes? The variation of the pressure, kilopascal, with respect to altitude, kilometer. This is your agenda.
Thank you for your attention.